Jasna Strajhed.
So Marina Puljis from Hrvatska Poštanska banka. Hello, Marina. So you heard already all about Marina. So Marina held very interesting presentation on how she is dealing with product development. So please take your seat, Marina. Daniel again. So this is actually the time when you can ask questions to Daniel. So we heard all about product development in OTP Banka. And Janan Lojo, very welcome to all of you. Janan is, if you don't know, but I'm sure that you already know, he's the president of the board of company TIS, which deals very much with fintech and with banking products, right? So therefore, the Janan is here with us. So, all comfortable? Good, super. So we introduced ourselves, and since we already heard a lot of what Marina told us and what Daniel told us about product development, Janan, tell us how you fit in that combination with all of us here.
Thank you. So my name is Janan Lojo. So when I started working in this, also started working immediately on the products for financial industry. That was products for loans, and actually nobody bought it. So it was also a learning experience. A story of TIS and financial products actually began in 1995 when TIS has developed first application for the payment system for the clearing houses and for the banks. And that one was sold first to one of the largest Slovenia banks and lived there happily for almost 3 decades. After that, we built numerous products for payment systems for SIPA credit transfer, for SIPA direct debit, and similar. Sometimes our products don't cross the chasm, as we heard today, but because it is like that by design, because the market is like that, so it is a small market in Croatia and Slovenia. And sometimes they have a lot of customers because they are cloud-based and software as a service, basically.
Well, it was quite innovative for this period of time, and so it was quite a, let's say, hit on the market, as I can tell.
Yeah, basically 1995, so that was before my time, so when I was in school. The thing that was happening in our region was that actually Slovenia and Croatia were reforming the payment system. Mm-hmm. So the company has seized the chance and it was developed to be something new. It was regulatory driven, basically. And first buyers, actually, we had 3, let's say, banks that were interested in the product. But basically, the third one bought it. The first 2 saw a lot of presentations and basically did it by themselves.
Okay. When we are talking about that regulatory framework and compliance demands and everything, what is actually somehow, let's say, shaping the products in banking and fintech, how you are dealing with this in banks? Daniel, Marina?
Ladies first, no?
Limited. So regulation is very rigid. And some ideas, we gave up from some ideas because, for example, in Europe, some regulations are already adopted. In Croatia, they are still not. So we are late compared to competitors abroad, in competitors in Europe or in USA, which is completely different market, more flexible and less regulated. And that's why some really nice ideas about new products, new services, easier way of doing business and new offerings to our clients were not able to implement here in Croatia. But things are changing. So regulation improved, or we also we adopt the same regulation a few years ago, and it gives us opportunity to start with development of such a product, but unfortunately late. So, and second problem, which I'm not very happy with, is that here we had situations where we have few laws which are not harmonized here in Croatia. So one law gives you opportunity to do something and another forbid the same. So we are in a bad position, so we cannot move forward.
And can you do something about it, Daniel? What do you think?
It's very hard. So it's not impossible, but it's very hard. So it should be like very important to you if you need to achieve something. We had recently also situation of some new product, and we knew that it will be hard to get all the approvals. And let's say that we are talking about the cloud, and it's not new technology. So it's like I can say it's old one, but nowadays we are more talking about that. And since to gain all the scalability that we want to have for that, we need to have for that product, we need to go, let's say, to a cloud. And the externalization was very painful with the regulators. And I understand that. But at the end, let's say that we fulfill all requirements and we will go with it. But before 2 years, and it was still, let's say, old technology, it was almost impossible even to externalize Microsoft to cloud. So now the DORA regulatory will also come, and it will affect not just the banks, but also the vendors who are working with the banks, and it will be even harder. So I would say, in short, that in US you can innovate, in Europe you are trying to find a way how to overcome the bureaucracy.
And from the point of vendor, how you see it, Jenan?
Well, regulatory change is something that they're good and innovative, and sometimes they can complicate your life, as we heard. So we definitely, when we see some change in regulation, we have a department of where we have product developers, we have product owners and business analysts, and then we are evaluating if it is something worth pursuing. So if it is something like instant payments or something like PSD2, PSD3, like some new innovative things, then definitely we are going to build typically some proof of concept, something that we want to work with, and then we usually show it to the banks and everybody interested, and then we see how it goes on. So basically we target the biggest banks on the market, and usually 1/3 of them buys the product, 1/3 of them engages with us, to help them to deliver the project, so to build a product or a solution of their own. And sometimes we are being used as consultants to help them with the knowledge and experience that we have. Regarding the other part, the part of regulation that should actually make us feel safe and whatever basically the intent of the regulation is, definitely for several decades also we are selling some softwares that help with that. Well, regarding DORA and some other regulations, we are distributors for some softwares that do a lot for security in file transfers and transfer of data between banks and FINA and some other institutions and banks themselves. So basically, regulatory changes for us are good because it is something that has a deadline, and then usually banks need to be in a hurry. They feel the pressure, and that's good for us. Okay, to be honest,
it's good for the vendors. No, for the banks, I can say that let's say last year, so even step before. So when we were joining to the Euro, so we for 1 year we worked just on that. So it was not time to improve the products. We stopped almost all the projects, not stop, but they were on hold for a while. And okay, it's good. And at the end, we have euro, blah, 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 and so on, not to tell the whole story. But now we are trying to overcome the gap that we had before euro. And I said on my pitch that we done before that merger. So there is no time for new products, you know. And now even this year, a lot of regulating things come to our table on the IT because everything is mandatory, anti-money laundering and other things. What we need to implement to be, of course, because we need to be safe, and also IT security is there, who is pushing some things because of the threat that we have on this part of the Europe. And so
I would just add that it happens also when you merge banks or when you change the core system. And that's something happens in the banks. And we've seen that in Croatia several times in both of these two banks. So when you do that, you also need to stop everything that marketing department wants to have as a products to their clients. So sometimes you can lose the competitive advantage because you have to either deal with technical debt, either to deal with migration. And this migration can be very cumbersome, and sometimes the project that actually would need 3 or 5 years, then we need to deliver that in 1 year or something like that because of the marketing. So it's not only regulatory, it's also sometimes driven by group needs, let's say.
It's at the end of the story, it's growth. So as I said earlier, from the 8th place, we come to the 4th place, probably by launching a lot of new products. It would be very hard to reach that position with the organic growth. So you need somehow to balance always.
When we are talking about regulation, it's overwhelming, I understand. But banks are communicating to their clients that they are very, very innovative. So what is the truth? What is the myth? What is the misconception here? Is this true?
I don't remember that we communicated that we are very innovative, but I know one of the banks that said that they are the most innovative bank on the market. So it's true that we are saying that as an industry. I would say that I even said earlier that we were dealing with ourselves for a while, and even in our survey that we had on the group level, one of the key things that was like a minus for us as a bank in Croatia was that people who are working in the bank thinks that we do not have the products for the like the today's products. And because of that, we also change our strategy towards products. And it's not that we were not delivering those products and working on them. It's more because we done some other things. So now we have, I would say this year, we will have a lot of new products on the market, and probably next year, some of my colleagues can join here and talk about those products.
Okay, so that brings us to another topic, which is really connected with the innovations in banking and fintech, and this is adaptation of banks to Gen Z people. So to very young people who are now, let's say, getting their first employment, getting to the working market. So how banks are preparing their products for Gen Z? How you are dealing with this? Not problems, but issues, maybe situations, and their loyalty. What banks should prepare for this kind of clients?
Digital channels. So young people and new generations do not expect to stay, to go in branch, to communicate a lot with banks. They want good, high quality service, fast service. And when we talk about young, we focus on digital services, and we perceive them as generations which like to have some benefits, some added value from our products and services, which are not necessarily related to core banking products. So we are thinking about how to offer something additional, what they perceive valuable for them, and to create, let's say, package of services for which is valuable for the generation.
Are they price sensitive, Gen Z? Or
price
they
is
are
very flexible.
Very,
so
very-
depending on what they perceive they're getting.
Okay.
Probably the answer is yes. But if you offer them the solutions that will solve their need, not to do the solutions just to resolve one of the puzzles, because that was in the past. We as a banks, we just resolve, let's say that you are buying a flat, so we just give you a loan. We don't care which flat you are buying. Okay, you need to have like all the papers for that, but in the future, I think it would be more partnership between the customer and the bank in order to fulfill the needs. So probably we will have also advisory, or we will have some partnership with the real estate agencies, or I don't know what. So, but I think that's the direction of the banking industry, not just for the flats, but for all the other things. And what we are trying to do is now, when we have time to do the things on a different ways, that we really design the products for them, and we are trying to include them into design of the products. So we are asking them, and I can say that we recently had a case study with one of the faculties, and the case was to find the solution that are missing on the market, but for them. So he has like 19, 20 years, and what is missing for him? And we have some ideas. Probably we will implement that in our next solution, but I know that no one among the banks, even broader than Croatia, do not have that.
And for the Generation Z, definitely what is very important is customer experience and their customer journey. So they want to streamline and simplify everything, and that's a good thing. And that's why I see that everybody agrees that the banks should ask them how the process should look like. Because they don't want to do everything all the way, like doing something, going to 3 institutions for some papers. So they want bank to do that for them. And that's the point of doing the digital transformation in proper way. Very often digital transformation is just digitizing the existing process, but actually you need to change the process to satisfy the customer's needs. And that's why we have this new topic of open banking and even now open finance. So that's something that is very relevant today, very relevant to the Generation Z. And it's a very good channel actually for banks to expand to new sales channels and to new approach to the Generation Z that actually sometimes will not be aware that there is bank behind some service, but actually bank will benefit from that.
Great. And what about artificial intelligence? What is actually, can you use it in product development? And if you can, how you can use it?
This has used the artificial intelligence in banking in the 90s. It wasn't artificial intelligence as we see it today, because the computer architecture wasn't advanced, and because computing power was much on the lower levels than today. Basically, those were expert systems helping clients to solve some problems in the process of being on the market stock, on the stock exchange, buying shares. And we did it for some UK clients. But then the AI winter came. So now we have a lot of products in AI, and basically we're doing a lot of proof of concepts with the finance and fintech and banking clients in Europe and in UK. And definitely it is going to be a trend. What will need to be definitely important in that is how to choose the use case. So usually we start with some internal case, and that is let's say very simple, like some internal regulations and some policies that should be accessible to every employee. Then the next step is usually something that should be relevant to the customers. And the third one would be something that is actually the core business of the business. Why is that so? First, because of the reliability. We all know that AI can hallucinate and sometimes also give you wrong answers. So then we need to consult our customers which approach to take, which models to use. Is it something that is on premise or on cloud? So there are a lot of decisions that need to be made, and somebody who knows what is talking about should be definitely involved. And then there's also something about the price. AI is not cheap because it takes a lot of resources and a lot of energy. So it's not at the moment suitable for every case.
And in
So
banks?
I can agree with this. I just wanted to say that we are not, so AI comes with the regulations, and we know that recently also European Bank consider biometrics AI as a high risk, and probably they will write something to make a frame for us. But we are not waiting for that. We are piloting also something more internally, because we know if we go publicly that then we will have issues with GDPR and all the things what are connected to the data of the clients. And on the group level, we can say that we connected to the Silicon Valley company, and we are building our own structure, and it's not cheap. It's heavy, and we will see at the end what will turn out from that. But we cannot wait. We need to invest in new technologies. We need to pilot things, and then to find a good candidate in which we can apply the technology.
Marina, what do you think when we will have fully remotely account opening process? So fully digital and remote. Is it
digital.
possible in Croatia?
Yes, of course. Actually, we were the first on the market which implement online or web opening account 5-7 years ago. Client could apply over the web, and the link would drive client to e-branch. We established video identification, and very early, it was simple model. We had this kind of process, but I think it's something normal today.
Something normal.
Yes.
And the number of users that you have, the number of clients that you gained through this channel, is it high, or how it's?
It's well.
You can be proud of this channel. You can communicate it more to the market, or it's just an additional one.
Well, today I would not say that it's our competitive advantage today, because market it's offer which also other banks have today. But 5-7 years ago, when we were the first with this service, we had really impressive results in the beginning. It was especially for younger people.
I can just add that it's not something new, but it is one part of the puzzle. So we said at the beginning that the new clients want like end-to-end solutions. So what does it mean that I can open an account online and just the account, and I have the account, cool. And what with it?
Yes.
So what we need to have as a products are fully digital products that are end-to-end, so that you can open the account because you've been on the website and you wanted to buy something, and maybe you don't have account at the time, or you need to borrow the money from the bank with a fully online end-to-end channel, and then as a first thing what you need to do is open account, but in the same story. So opening an account is not a big deal if you don't implement that into the end-to-end product.
when you are talking about the products in banking, you are talking as well about the processes, right? So you are taking it into, let's say, one topic. This is one topic for you, or this is different topics. How you see it?
Not sure that I catch the question, but I'll try to answer. So the question was, is this the same product and process, or?
Yes. Are you dealing in product development? Are you dealing with processes and products, products and processes as a one topic, or you have special people for process optimization, for dealing with process part of the
Okay.
whole story, or
So since we are transforming, we have both, and it depends on which product we are talking about. So also in a bank we have the lean, and also we have agile squads. So it depends what product is there and what we are doing. But of course that when we are designing the product, we are trying to optimize, not what was said before, not just to copy paste the same process in the digital solution. So we are trying to optimize the process because we were working for some time like that. So probably there is a lag, and when now we developed cash loan, digital cash loan end to end, and we revised the process, and we figure out that there is, I don't know how many room for improvement, because the process was like this. And when you draw the process, then you see why in the past this form should be applied, or why the client need to bring something to a bank and so on. So you optimize the things on the way.
okay.
I would say that the product and process are connected. When we're all thinking about selling loans over digital channels, and that is something that is competitive advantage. That is something our client expects us to offer them. But the process is not simple. So it includes many aspects, from GDPR, from submitting the request online, from developing engine, so it's more machine learning than pure AI. Developing engine with risk tools for fast credit assessment for clients, then creating offerings, then contracting the final offer, then digital signature, disbursement, and maybe finally some robots who will book the transaction in the bank. So end-to-end process includes not only pure product, but also IT, digital channels, legal department, compliance, not to mention IT security, which is very, very important in the process because of potential identity theft, because of security of clients' private data, and so it's broad process.
Right. So getting back to innovations in banking and in fintech, Jenan, what do you see as a trendsetter technology right now? What is the top technology that fintech is using, will use in the future, which will be applied to bank products? What can it be?
Okay, so since we have also the sister company in UK, we are members of many fintech alliances and organizations. And going to those meetups and meetings, then we see that everybody is buzzing about AI and open banking and open finance. And definitely some synergy of all these concepts are the key to success. And also in UK, a lot of large banks are investing in fintechs. They do not build solutions of their own. They actually create their accelerators, so giving something also to the community. And very often then they take the services from the two similar fintechs. So they have the, let's say, some redundancy. If something bad happens to one, then they have the other one to deliver the service. So definitely AI and open whatever, so banking or finance, because open finance, difference between open banking and open finance is that it is also open to the other institutions like insurances and some other subjects. And definitely regulations like PSD3 will be some new advantage. PSD2 didn't take off as expected, maybe, so we don't see that, but we believe that PSD3 will be very, very interesting in next few years.
Marina, Daniel, do your bank communicate, collaborate, or have some, let's say, connections or maybe partnerships with fintechs already?
Yes, on the local level, but also on the group level, we also have venture capital fund which invests in the startups, fintechs, let's say, but in early phases, and also we bought some companies. So I think so they are not our competitors, but it is good that they are here because before some time I said that they woke up the banks because they were like lazy big institutions, and now we see there is Revolut, there is another companies, and you can open account, you can do the transaction, and even you can do it faster than in the regular bank. And young people, back to your previous question, like that. So simple solutions. And I think the only way is to do it together. And since they know how to do it and they are building it from the scratch, and we need to transform ourselves to build it from the scratch. So I think it's a good opportunity for both, or for partnership, or for banks to take over some companies and the knowledge, and of course the solutions that they have.
In case of Hrvatska poštanska banka, not yet.
Regarding products offerings, no, we are considering some ideas, but no, as current offers, we don't have any fintech solutions. In some cases, we bought, of course, some final solutions from, it's not fintech, it's more companies from anti-money laundries with good control system, which is very, very demanding and risky flow. And the domain of artificial intelligence, domain of digital opportunities related to digital world, we see in this domain. So it can help us to monitor transactions, to identify some risky typologies of money laundering, and to implement the system and controls in our system, because on a human level it's not possible, of course, to monitor the million or billion of transactions. So it's the space where I see the advantages.
And when we are talking about this innovative technologies, and when you look to the future, what do you see from, let's say, standing point of the vendor and fintech, and from the bank side, what do you see as a future in product development? Tough question.
Future I think more tailor-made products. Banks, let's say for the retail, we have mass products. So we need to more segment our target groups and build the solutions, but end-to-end solutions for them. So what they need. Of course, to know what they need, we need to include them more, and we are working on it. It's not just about the technology, it's also humanity and the emotions. We heard also the pitch about the emotions, and I share the vision that it is about the emotions, because if you solve me the problem, then I don't care if it is a bit expensive, you know. But if I get something and it's not useful for me, why to have it? So I would say more to concentrate on the customer. We are all talking about it, but we should put that really and do some modeling, and a regulator also should give us like open hand to implement some advanced analytical things, connect some databases, so we know what they want, and then we can offer to them what they need, because sometimes they do not know what they need. They just have some need, you know.
Yeah, well, having said that, what we've been exploring lately, last few months, we've heard that today, the multi-agent story in AI. So maybe also the future might be in the multi-agent products that create themselves on the fly, having also one agent that takes care of the regulatory things, and having one agent that would, as a project manager, maybe build some building blocks and use them to provide actually the product on the fly. Maybe that's also one of the possible directions.
I can agree.
Marina, when you fantasize about if you can imagine your perfect product for the, let's say, next year, what it will be?
My
Perfect product, innovative, and no strict regulations about it. Something that you will, push on the market and be like a top on the market with it. What could it be?
I'm not sure that it's one product, it's more process. So I would like to offer a complete digital process to our clients. So opening an account, applying for a loan, approval of loan, then maybe some space for saving the client documentation, history about the client transaction, some data with analytics client can play with in some application, and so that would be perfect process, all in one pocket.
So everything about the client on one click, something like
Yes,
this.
yes.
Okay.
One
Super.
click and client's world behind.
Okay, and
I can give you a suggestion maybe for the
definitely,
banks.
Jenny.
Let's say if there is a product where you could integrate with the companies, and companies will give you their cash flow, and then something will help you, some AI or something with cash management for the company. So because now we need to do a lot of paperwork when we see that there are some phases in the year where we need money and we need to do the calculations by ourselves, and it's pretty static and we need to think about it. Maybe it could be also something, and maybe it could give us some advices, some advices like, okay, yeah, maybe you need to increase this or decrease that, something based to the business, related to it. I don't know, maybe I'm just now fantasizing, hallucinating, but
that's also possible.
This was
that's
not AI.
future, but that is a little bit of human expertise, a little bit of AI. Yes, it's hybrid.
Okay, Daniel, what about OTP Banka? What do you think? What should be?
OTT or me personally? Because
well,
personally,
let's say
I
both.
want everything to be
Okay, then personally.
done without too many clickings, because I don't like to go to the branch, but so I'm more mobile guy, but even not to click on that. So everything,
Just
that everything
swipe.
is, yeah, everything is also. I give you permission to make the transactions. I give you all the rules, and you know and learn from my behavior what that I'm giving the money to a kid. Let's say 20 euros, not 30. So you give on certain date because I gave last 3 months 20 euro. Now you gave without my permission and so on. So to automatize a bit our behavior, because we moved things from the branch to a mobile phone, but still we are clicking. So I don't like to click too much. So products that are more automatized than today, personally, and from the bank perspective, we have a lot. We have now 18 open projects, so probably next year we will have a lot of cool new stuffs. Some things that we do not have because we have a lag, but also among them it will be new ones. And hopefully, like I said, some of the colleagues can come and their story about them next year here.
Thanks. And last but not least, let's conclude with the most important thing here, that you have some people that are working and developing products, learning about products. So having all this work done about preparing products for the market. And do you feel the shortage of this kind of people? Can you find appropriate profiles, professional profiles for product development, or you have to develop these people internally? How you are coping with these situations?
Both.
Both.
So building internal capabilities, but also making strategic partnership with those who knows how to build something. So we have both, I would say.
We build our competencies also several ways. Sometimes we acquire people that have been working in banks, so they have experience from various banks, and also working on projects helps us a lot since our consultants usually go on several products in several banks, so they see a lot of they gain a lot of experience, and they have various experiences from various environments. So combining that gives us a very powerful mix. And then we have processes internally for innovations and for ideation management. And then also we are thinking about new products, and we are building something also today that is also based on instant payments and some other instruments that should be relevant to the banks. So.
Okay. And in case of...
we are in last 2 years in specific situation because we are in the process of merging NHB Sberbank and handling all these migration process parallel with business as usual, our daily business, and thinking about some new products, improvements in process and digital world is really demanding. But we used this period to invest in people, in their knowledge, in transfer of knowledge, and building our internal know-how. And this actually helped us to overcome the peaks and to have the base of competitive, skilled people for the further investments and developments we plan.
Thanks. I believe that product managers and product developers are very good time managers as well. So we have just a few minutes left, and I would like to ask audience, maybe they have some questions, or maybe they want to add something for Jenna. Here
Question
is
here.
one question for Jenna, Daniel, or Marina.
Thank you all for interesting panel about these financial topics. I would like to ask Marina or Daniel, how do you look at Revolut? Is it taking a certain market share? Are you afraid of it? How do you prepare for their next steps? Overall, what is your decision, your strategy toward them?
So we are not afraid of them, of course. I think we are stable and our numbers are growing. So but we need also to look at them, what they are doing, and if they are attracting people, we need to understand why they are attracting people, and if they are taking our profit or some kind of products, and because of that people are going to them, then we need to see why. So we cannot just be blind, and we need to build the same thing, and I think that's the only strategy that we need to have. Basically, that's it.
Same in our case. We do not neglect them because we're trying to understand what is the service, what they offer, what is interesting to, in particular, younger generations, and we are thinking about how to use their competitive advantages today to implement and improve our business.
Any other questions? Hands up.
So thank you about information about banking sector. So although I don't work there, I have a question for you. You both mentioned that you're actually your perfect product, how it would look like. And also before that, you mentioned that you went to digital transformation of your teams and companies. So, but your perfect product has a lot of AI in it, lot of like different kind of models that can you give you these informations. So did you think already about your transformation into not the only company, but also AI run companies?
You need to go step by step. So, like I said, we are piloting things with the AI, and they can help in parts of the process, or they can take over some things. It depends. What do you? Now we are speaking as a buzzword about the AI, but also we mentioned that in banking we use the AI, but let's say in some kind of different definition, even in past. So we have advanced analytics models that we used for certain things. Fully to open, we need to see what regulation we said about the AI. And we'll see, because basically we just started. Everyone is speaking about the AI. Before, I don't know how many years, 5 years, everyone was speaking about transformation. Before that, everyone was speaking about the big data, and nothing happened. So we will see what will happen. What will be the effect? Probably it will be, but it depends also on this part of the Europe, what the European Union will say, how we can use the technology and where, and what kind of data and where we can use.
AI, it's tool. So we are dealing, our daily business is dealing with people. And I think that AI and new technologies cannot replace people, and that these empathy, emotional aspect is very important in our business. So yes, we have to implement digital products, processes, we have to implement machine learning and advanced tools, and probably more than 50% of our services and contracts switch to digital. But on the other hand, we need to keep connections with our clients, because their behavior and loyalty and also overdue payments are better in case when they have contacts with real people. So I think that this kind of relationship we should not neglect.
A last question, perhaps? No? All happy? Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, please, hands together for Marina, Daniel, Jenan, and Jasna. Thank you so much. Just stay there. Just stay there. Right, ladies and gentlemen, guess what? It's been so quick, hasn't it? We have now come to the end of our first day. It's been a good day. A good day. Lots of ideas, insights, and lots to absorb. So if you've enjoyed it today, guess what? We're going to do it all again tomorrow from 9 o'clock. Tomorrow, 9 o'clock. But just before you leave, so Opatija, I'm quite familiar with Opatija. In fact, I've lived in Croatia about 24 years. Now I live in Split, but many, many years ago, I lived in Rovin. I lived in Rovin down the road, and I used to work for a travel company, and so lots of British tourists would come, this was 24 years ago, would come to Rovin and enjoy their week or 2 weeks, and they would discover the area, and naturally they would come here, and I would meet this certain couple that had been coming for years to Croatia. They loved Croatia. Their mothers and their grandparents had been coming, and they'd always been coming to Rovin and exploring around. And so I would say, the first time I met them, where have you been? What have you been enjoying? And the guy said to me, listen, we love everywhere. We love Rijeka, we love Rovinji, but we especially love Opatija. And I said, Opatija. He said, yes, Opatija. I said, it's not Opatija, it's Opatija. He said, no, 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 no. It's Opatija. And I said, well, no, it's Kaitia. It's actually Opatija. And he was like adamant that it was Opatija. I just went with it. And so the year after, this is so true, the year after, we have the same conversation. Great to be back, doing all the things you love while you're here. Where have you been? Opatija. So in the same way that guest insisted to me, for someone who was living here, that Opatija is not Opatija but Opatija, I hope you enjoy tonight in Opatija, and we will see each other tomorrow back here for another fantastic full day of Product World 2024, right here 9 o'clock in the morning for another fun, excitingly packed day as well. Enjoy your evening, and we'll see you all tomorrow.
Thank you. Hvala.
Ali više ne sad.